Welcome, my friends, my Nakama. Konami servers are still down, but that's okay because they will not be forever. And by the time you're watching this video, maybe they're back up again. Try again. Never give up. In the meantime, we have Duel Links Meta to thank. Standing ovation. Well done to them for getting this information out there. That was a half-hearted clap, and I apologize. Okay, so basically they swiftly like the wind, they were able to go in, snipe, and get the information for basically all of the cards and all of the skills that we have. So I want to go through them with you so that we understand what we're here for. I want to see how good the characters, because the skills could make or break Pendulum. I'm so excited to look at the skills, right? I was hoping to do this in game, but we'll do it here. Let's go. First up, obviously, Yuya Sakaki. He's got quite a few exclusive skills. Dueling, that I read that as dueling racist. Dual-taining recast can only, I need my glasses, hold on. Can only be used if you control 3 Pendulum monsters with different levels. Okay. Add all monsters in your monster zone to your extra deck, then play Performapal Pendulum monsters, Magician, wait, what? Then play Performapal Pendulum monsters, Magician Pendulum monsters, and Odd Eyes Pendulum monsters that can be normal summoned from your hand with a combined level equal to the sum of the original levels of the monsters you added to your extra deck. This can only be used once per duel. That doesn't sound good. Maybe I'm misunderstanding something. I mean, that doesn't sound insane, unless maybe you have some like low-level Pendulum monsters that you Pendulum summoned out that you just want. This sounds like a very complicated skill. Maybe my brain is too smooth to understand the full ramifications, but I'm not a fan. What else? Extra balloons can be used once per turn. Select one Wonder Balloons on your field and place up. Oh, so Wonder Balloons is a Yuya card. We've had this card since the first box, if I'm not mistaken, of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I didn't realize it was a Yuya card. So basically, what Wonder Balloons does is you can discard cards from your hand, and you place a counter on the card for each card that you send, and your opponent's monsters all lose 300 attack for each counter that's on this card, and since it's continuous, all of your opponent's monsters are just permanently debuffed, but like Cosmic Cyclone, right? So it's not crazy, and this skill doesn't seem to protect extra balloons, but the great thing about that is, I mean, you don't have to discard cards anymore to activate it, so you can keep all your cards in your hand and just turn by turn reduce your opponent's monster's attack. So like, it's actually not terrible, but you have to be playing Wonder Balloons, right? It has to already be on your field, so I'm not a fan. Fusion Advent can be used by returning one Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon in your Pendulum zone and one Polymerization or a ritual spell in your hand to your deck. Okay, that's a lot, but I mean, if it's in your Pendulum zone, you could actually do this from turn 1 pretty easy. Depending on the cards you have returned, you can add one of the following cards from outside of your deck to your hand. All right. Can be used once per duel if you begin the duel with a deck that contains 9 or more Okay, so it's Performapal exclusive. It's locked in. Magician monsters or Odd Eyes monsters, fair enough, but your extra deck does not count. Now, if you sent back Polymerization, you get to add Odd Eyes Fusion. If you sent back a Ritual spell card, you add Odd Eyes Advent. What do these cards say is what I want to find out. Odd Eyes Fusion. Fusion summon one Dragon Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials. If your opponent controls 2 or more monsters and you control no monsters, you can also use up to 2 Odd Eyes monsters in your extra deck as fusion materials. So basically, you send back an Odd Eyes that you controlled in your Pendulum zone, you send back a fusion card of your own. If there's no cards on your field and your opponent has 2 or more monsters, you can use your extra deck as the fusion materials to get a card out of your extra deck. That's actually not bad at all. Okay, what about Advent? This card can be used to ritual summon any dragon ritual monster from your hand or graveyard. You must also tribute Pendulum monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed the level. Okay, fair enough. If your opponent controls 2 or more monsters, you can also send Odd Eyes monsters from your extra deck to the graveyard. So basically, these just let you fusion someone from the extra deck and get extra deck monsters in the graveyard if you need them there. That's not bad, I would say. It's relatively easy to do. You just need the poly or the rituals, the fusion card or the ritual spell back into the deck, the Odd Eyes in your Pendulum zone, and then you can get started. I like this skill better, but it's still not my favorite. Odd Eyes Evolution can be used once per turn by revealing one Pendulum monster in your hand while you have no cards in your Pendulum zone. Change one monster whose original name is Odd Eyes Dragon to Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. In addition, add a Pendulum zone to your field. Whoa! Hold on. That means you have 4 spell and trap zones effectively. You can't. I'm guessing you can't put spells and traps in that zone. It's specifically for Pendulum monsters. But this means that this means that playing as Yuya, there's at least one. You still have 2, because You only need to use 2 Pendulum zones to Pendulum summon, so you can use 2 zones, and you still have 2 zones left over, bro. That's fire. The only thing is the monster itself, Odd Eyes Dragon. Does it have to be on your field for you to use the skill? Can it be used from your hand? It's a level 20 reward, so we'll unlock it over the course of the day and hopefully be able to do something with it. If not, though, I'm sure someone's gonna figure it out. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Pendulum Gazers. At the beginning of the duel. Add a pet, so dude, you're just giving them away like candy? It's just, what if all of the characters have this? What if all of the, okay. At the beginning, no, where'd you go? At the beginning of the duel, add a Pendulum zone to your field. In addition, the following effect can be used only once on turn 3 or onward. If you have a Stargazer Magician or Time Gazer Magician in your Pendulum zone, add 1 face-up Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. Okay, alright, but I hear that Stargazer and Time Gazer aren't that great, so you might not be playing them. Until the end of the next turn, you cannot summon the card you added to your hand. Okay, fair enough. Can be used if you begin the duel with a deck that contains 9 or more Performa Power. Okay, so you're locked into the archetype anyway, so you would probably be using Time Gazer and Stargazer to make up the numbers. Alright, fair enough. I like that, bro. I love this. Pendulum Shuffle can be used if you have 2 cards in your Pendulum zones and 2 or more face-up Pendulum monsters in your extra deck. Okay, place all cards in your Pendulum zones face-up on your extra deck, and then place in your Pendulum zones 2 random face-up Pendulum monsters from your extra deck. Holy, this is insane, and it's not locked into this archetype. Think about it like this. Let's say you've got 2 great Pendulum, like there's 2 cards that you want to use their scales, and your opponent has destroyed them. They go to the face of extra deck, and then you manage to get 2 other cards in the Pendulum zones. You can basically just trade them. You would just trade them and get back the really good cards with the really good scales. Only problem is this card doesn't give you an extra Pendulum zone, and I feel like the skills that give you an extra zone are the best ones. This is, we'll see. I like this a lot better than some of the others that I've read though. Performa Pal Carnival, the attack of all Performa Pal monsters on your field is increased by 100. Okay, yeah, don't talk to me anymore. Smile World. Add 1 Smile World to your hand from outside your deck. If you activate this skill, you can only activate or use the effect of Smile spell trap cards until the end of your opponent's next turn. This skill can only be used once per duel. What does Smile World say? Let's find out. All face-up monsters currently on the field gain 100 attack for each monster currently on the field until the... Don't talk to me like that. Get away. Turning up the heat. At the beginning of the duel, add 1 Stargazer Magician and 1 Time Gazer Magician to your deck. Then if you have 2 or less Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon in your deck, add 1. Oh, so okay, fair enough. So that means you can get Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon in your deck for the price of free, just like most other main characters will let you do. In addition, if you begin the duel with a deck that contains no monsters other than Performa Pal monsters, Magician, or Odd Eyes, add a Pendulum zone. So basically, the only decks that you're getting the extra Pendulum zone with appear to be the Performa Pal, like the character-specific ones. Which, fair enough. I'm here for that action. Then he has the generic. Oh wait, hold on. Swing into action, Pendulum Summon. At the beginning of the duel, add a Pendulum zone. This is a generic skill. At the beginning of the duel, add a Pendulum zone to your field. This skill will only activate if you begin the duel with a deck that has 12 or more. That has 12 or more Pendulum monsters. Extra deck does not count. That is insane. They really want you to build the Pendulum deck, but this... Oh, I'll do it. You take me. No, because that means that every single character in Arc 5 will have the ability to increase, just give a whole new zone on the field, bro. That's just, why would you do? No, I'm happy that they did it. So Pendulum Summoning is going to be its own thing. They want it to be specific to Pendulum decks. They don't want you to like slap this into Blue Eyes and start doing a madness effectively. Someone's probably gonna slap it in Blue Eyes and do a madness anyway. Okay, so those are Yuya skills. Okay, so from the looks of it, I don't think that anyone's been able to find out other people's skills. All that's here is Yuya's, and that's enough for me. I'm happy, bro. And we know that everyone's gonna have Swing to Action Pendulum Summon, which is chef's kiss. Konami really good, because everyone was so worried when they gave us, like everyone was expecting Master Rule 3 rules where they add 2 new Pendulum Zones on the sides. But this, I think, is good. It means that we'll see. Pendulums will have an inherent advantage because there's a whole extra zone that other decks don't have. This is a good release, in my opinion. I'm happy with how things are going. I'm going to be looking at more Arc 5 stuff over the course of the day. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're having fun with me. Let's keep going. Goodbye, friends.